Hey everybody, Pastor Will here with another Monday moment to kind of talk to you about some of the things we talked about on Sunday and help you as you get your week started to have a focus on what God wants us to do with our lives. And so this week we did our second message in the Be Thou My Vision series at our church, and it was a great Sunday. Awesome worship and people engaged in what God is doing here. Uh, so we talked about on Sunday, as we start talking about getting a vision and um, purpose for our lives, God uh, has some things to say to us. He has a desire for our lives. He has purposes and plans for us. And it would be great if we could begin asking him, what do you desire me do with my life, God, and this church? What do you desire for us to do? Because I believe he has the best plan, the purpose and the plan for us that we should follow. Um, so it'd be so as we seek out God and his vision for the church, it would be great to say, God, what do you desire? What do you care about? What is important to you, God? What are your priorities that you would like to accomplish? Because God has um, desires on his heart. And it's my passion is for my heart to beat for the things that God's heart beats for, to care about the things that God cares about, to grieve the things that grieve God, to have compassion for the people that God has compassion for, to start to become more like Jesus. The more and more I'm with him, the more I hope that I have a heart like his. And so, that being said, I want to go over some of those thoughts with you today, some of the things that God does care about and desires for. And God will be faithful. If you ask for it, he will give you the desires of your heart. In Psalm 37, verse 4, it says this: delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Now, some people take that verse, delight yourself in the Lord, and he'll give you the desires of your heart. They think, oh, God's going to give me whatever I want. If I delight myself in him, he'll give me whatever I want. When actually that verse is saying, delight yourself in the Lord, and then he will actually give you desires in your heart. His desires, he'll place those in you. So your desires begin to become and shift to God desires. The more you delight yourself in God, the more your desires become more and more like his desires. And so you begin to care about the things he cares about and love the people he loves. And yeah, so that's my prayer for our church, is that we would begin to care about the things God cares about, that we would begin to desire the things that he wants, instead of our own personal wants and desires, our own personal projects, and the things that are important to us, that God would begin infusing us with his purposes, his desires, his wants for his body. Um, and we talked about Isaiah chapter 61 and how this is really the heart of Jesus's ministry, and it should be the heart of our ministry as well. Isaiah 61. And in there, it talks about some of the things that are important to God. One of those is proclaiming the good news to the poor. And so we want to proclaim good news to the poor. That should be a desire of ours that God is placing within us. Binding up the brokenhearted, proclaiming freedom to those who are held captive, release from darkness for those who are in prison, comfort for those who are mourning, beauty to people who are in ashes, giving beauty to people who are in a place where they feel like their life is in ruins, and joy instead of mourning. God comes and wants to lift people and redeem them from the situations that they are in their lives. And everybody goes through different things that are difficult and tough. And we need to be the people that lift people out of the situations they're in and redeem their lives, help them get a step up in life. So those are some of God's desires and passions, I think, that he's wanting to place within us at Osceola UMC. Hello, Doris. Glad you're watching today. Missed you at church on Sunday, and you also, Leanne. And we talked about lots of cool things on Sunday, and hopefully you can watch the rest of the video that you didn't get to see if you ended just logging in and see all the things that God is doing here. Some exciting things happening. One of those things I want to make you aware of this week is I've been asked to lead a group down to Guatemala this fall, October 20th through the 27th, and we're going to have an informational meeting on that on the 12th of August for anyone interested to even see about what the trip is or what Guatemala is like. You're welcome to come to that. Let's see, what other announcements are there? We're having a funeral here this week for a dear person in our church, and her name is escaping me at the moment. I can't remember. Tell me if you guys remember. Why is it escaping me? I sure have a note here on my desk somewhere. Yeah, it's not coming to me. So, but know that Pat Austin, that's it. Pat Austin is passed away this week, and so we're having a funeral here at the church for her. Lots of other things coming up. The Bluegrass Festival is coming up here in August. That is the August the 19th will be that. Chicago Cubs bus trip. If you haven't signed up for that, please do that. Yeah. Hope you all have a great week. I've been rambling here at the end, so apologize. But hope you guys have a great week, and may God give you the desires of your heart. Place those desires that are his desires in your heart so that you can become more and more like Jesus. Have a great week. Bye.